We're going to solve this system using matrices. We're going to set up the matrix first. We'll have 2, 3, 7, 5, and 1, 7. Now, in order to solve this by matrices, we need to have this first row, first column, a 1. Underneath that should be 0, and next over here, this needs to turn into 1. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply across the top of this matrix by 1/2. That will give us 1 here. 7 times 1/2 is 7/2. And on the other side, we'll have 1 times 1/2, which is 1/2. And this will just stay as 3, 5, and 7. The next thing we'll do is we'll work to make this 3 become a 0. In order to do that, we'll multiply the first row by -3 and add that to the second row. That will give us, for the first row, stays the same, 1 7/2 and 1/2. The next row will have 1 times -3 plus 3, that's 0. 7/2 times -3, that's going to be -21/2. -21/2 plus 5, well, 5 is 10/2, so -21/2 plus 5 is -11/2. We'll multiply 1/2 by -3, that's -3/2. -3/2 needs to add to 7. -3/2 plus 7, let's make 7, so it's 14/2. -3/2 plus 14/2 is 11/2. The next thing we're going to want to do is change -11/2 so that that is a value of 1. We can multiply this whole row here then by -2/11, and that will make this a positive 1. Our first row stays the same, 1 7/2 and 1/2. 0 times -2/11 is still 0. -11/2 times -2/11 is positive 1, and positive 11/2 times -2/11 is -1. This will set up our equations. The first row will be x plus 7/2 y equals 1/2. The second row is 0x plus 1y, so there's y equals -1. And so we already have y equals -1 as one of the parts of our solution. Let's substitute in place here the -1, x plus 7/2 times -1 equals 1/2. So that's x minus 7/2 equals 1/2. If we add 7/2 to the right, positive 7/2 and positive 1/2 is positive 8/2, which simplifies to 4, giving us a solution to this system of 4 for x and -1 for y.